So the question is, why would you want to go outdoors? At home you got Wi-Fi, you got food, cups of tea, you got warmth, shelter, got TV, you got everything. You go outside, you get wet, you get cold, miserable weather, nose is streaming, can't play any games on your phone. Why would you want to go outside? Well, I'll tell you why you want to go outside. Well, I'll show you, it's easier. And that is why you want to go outside. Hello, we're off out again, doing a bit of a wild camp up in the Brecons. Brecons is now becoming my most favourite place in the country to camp, I think, with the views and the scenery, and now with the snow. Never camped in the snow before, and I didn't know there was going to be snow here. Hopefully you can hear me. It's quite windy up here, but I've got all my audio gear, so should get some decent audio. Some waterfalls. We're just in the horseshoe around from Penny Fan. We've come up the opposite end on the sort of Talabont Reservoir and come up that way. It's pretty steep actually. I thought it was probably about the same as the Penny Fan walk, so yeah, quite steep. We're going to camp out tonight. Luckily, I thought, oh, springtime, it's quite warm in Bristol. I'll take a lighter kit with me. And then I checked all the weather reports and they said, oh, I can get down to -6 with the wind chill factor. So I took me winter kit in the end, my full winter kit. It's got the Arc Cool backpack, and I got my full winter kit, about 12 kilograms plus food and water, so 13-14 kilograms. Sits, I can feel the weight, but there's no pressure on my back, there's no pressure on my shoulders at all. All the weight is down on the hips, on the hip belt with the V-shaped hip belt. It's brilliant. So if you've got any problems with your back and things like that, these are brilliant backpacks for that. This is nice. So we're going to do a wild camp up here. I'm just looking for a patch of ground really. It seems to be a lot of like moss and spongy, sort of peaty, boggy ground, so that's not ideal for camping on. I'm just trying to find a bit of drier ground. This side is quite good. I do quite like it here because the wind's coming over the ridge. We'll go up there, you can see Penny Fan from the top. So I'm looking for a bit of place out of the wind. Actually, this is very nice here, but I've never, if you look at the ground, it's got bracken, very peaty, quite boggy, so I don't know whether to stick my tent on it or not. Got a new tent as always, so in these sort of conditions you don't want to take any risks, So I wanted a full winter tent, withstand any storms and things like that. So I bought myself a Hilleberg, not the lightest tent in the world. It's about 2 kilograms, but it is fully 4-season stormproof tent. It's a Hilleberg Unna. I bought it second hand off eBay, did a lot of check-ins so I knew what I was getting, and turned up it was fantastic. So just like new, pretty much perfect. I've only used it twice, so pretty chuffed with that. So I got that. I got a little bobcat table that I've made. If you look at my other video, you'll see a folding table in a pot. I've got that, so I'm going to try that out. What else have I got? Got a new lantern that I made. I got all sorts of things. I got my vapor quilt with me tonight, which will be quite handy. So it give me a bit of extra warmth. Just let's see. Whoa, that was a bog. Better look where I'm walking. Nearly lost me boot. Whoa. This is a peat bog here. Over there is Penny Fan. I'll show you on a picture and you can take my word for it. See, like it goes from sphagnum to deep holes. As always, wearing the German para boots, which are, I think, the best boots in the world, especially for these sort of conditions. They really are fantastic. Waterproof, rugged, keep your feet warm, dry. I don't really sweat in them. They got some way of venting the air out through the tongue and stuff, which is quite good. So yeah. So I'll be back a bit later. I'm going to find a place to pitch up, and then we'll go through some more stuff then. See you later. So I'm at the place where I'm going to camp. It's not the ideal location, but we'll give it a go. The tent's up, as you can see. I'll just turn you around so you can see what I can see out the front door. So that's the view out of the tent. It's pretty nice. Now the problem is, just down here is the main walkway along the escarpment. So if I get a lot of people, they'll all be walking by me. But I don't think, I've only seen a few people today, not many. So I don't think we'll see many. So I think we'll be alright. But yeah, you could get asked to move on because it's not strictly legal. But we'll see. So in the tent, you can see it's massive. So you've got loads of room. I've got my pack in there. Well, I've got everything in here. Got the vapor quilt on. It's the first time I'm using the vapor quilt. So it's cotton voile, insulation, and then DWR coating on the outside, and that should stop any moisture getting on the top of the bag and getting it wet. Just get this wet, and then this is synthetic and it dries really easy. Keeps you down dry. So I'll have a go at that. So that's the tent. It's a Hilleberg Unna. I'm really pleased with it. Seems to pitch quite tight. It's not the perfect pitch, but it's not too bad. The problem is this ground, sphagnum moss, so you know it's peaty underneath. So it's absolutely sodden wet underneath. So we'll find out how good the ground sheets are on the Hillebergs. And I've got the footprint as well, so it's like a double layer. So I reckon I'll be alright, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, if it rains in the night, this is my theory. It might not work out, but it's my theory. So everywhere is water. I'm surrounded by peaty water. Look, okay? That's why it's so boggy. Now, theory is, if it rains on all the, well, everywhere, but it comes from the peaks and rolls down these things, mounds or whatever, and then it rolls off the end into these straight little rivers. So you can see around here. See that? You see it dripping down. Hang on. Is it dripping down? So that all drips down, and then these flow along and underground and eventually off the edge and into waterfalls and things like that. So my theory is it will flow down here. This is a natural kind of gully, so these gullies will take the water, it will flow down, it will come this way towards the tent, but if you look, there's a ridge, it goes up like a little mound all around the tent. So if it's really heavy, it should flow around the tent or underground. This is the main channel, look. See? Goes under, so that'll take quite a lot of water on out over the cliff. So it shouldn't hit that tent. And there's less snow where the tent is, so that makes me think it's not pitching there. So it's a natural kind of hump. I didn't go right at the top because I want to be protected from the wind if the wind gets up. So this gives me natural coverage. The wind's coming from over here. That's Penny Fan over there, and Corndure next to it, where I was last time. So it comes across here and hits there. So this is into the wind. So I've got it staked out with delta pegs, which are super strong, even in marshy ground. And then we got the Y pegs, Alpkit Y pegs in there. Got another delta peg here in case the wind changes direction a little bit. This is the worst. If it hits this is the worst area because it's a big surface area. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes. Let's have a look over here. So it's a really nice spot, but this is the main walkway, so you might get a lot of traffic, a lot of people, but I'll be up early in the morning anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to get too close to this edge. You'll see why, because it just drops off into nothing, but that's where the water's coming down. Let's see if we can have a look over here. It's so warm now, it's lovely. It's not cold at all. No, you can't see it, but it goes all the way. There's probably a bit of a waterfall, it goes all the way down into the valley. I think that's the river Usk, goes down and into the reservoir at the bottom. So yeah, it's a really lovely spot. I hope I don't get asked to move on because I don't want to pack up and go. I could walk off the mountain at night if I had to. I know the way pretty well. Got a compass and map, so I'll be alright. So if the worst comes to the worst, I could head back to the car, which is down the bottom of the valley. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's a very dark tent, so it's difficult to see. Just hope there's not too many people out late at night. I don't think there will be. So I can do my cooking here, have a cup of tea, which is an excellent idea. I might be doing that soon. Get a brew on. But yeah, it's a good walk. It's quite a challenging walk to get up the first bit, but after that it's fine. This is the Brecon beacons. The reservoir, Talibont reservoir's this way. This road going around here, I parked the car here where it says parking. It's good waterfalls there and walks in the forest. But you can walk, this is where I walked up, right up here. This is very, very steep. And then to Craggy Fan Dua, can't say it. This is the highest point here. So this is the first trek up. That's 683 meters. And then you go round here somewhere. I might be here. It might be this bit here with the water coming down. That might be that water just there. But I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm just here. So pretty boggy ground, but good. You could go on and see what it's like up here, but yeah, that's where I am tonight. The trouble is, if you get off of the path and go inland, you don't get all the views, which is what I wanted. But you're off the beaten path, so it's better in some ways. But anyway, we'll see what happens tonight. So, let's get a brew on. Well, the weather's changed, as it always does in the Brecons. It's gone from bright sunshine to
pretty cloudy. We just had hailstones. So yeah, it's getting quite cold now. So I'm going to try and get a brew on now. I'm using the cat bore stove with the ceramic wick. Got silicone sheets underneath. That's just a homemade windshield. Now I did bring the little fold-up table, and I did try it, but I do have to be honest, I do have to say that it's just too flimsy. With all the uneven ground and the flexing of the metal, it just doesn't work. So you either go thicker and then you can't roll it, or do you do something else instead? So nice idea, it was looking quite good. If you got nice flat ground it would work, but lots of bumpy ground and wind and things like that, it doesn't work. So yeah, put that down to experience, I think. I have ordered, before I started making that table, an aluminium table from Suluk46. Look him up online. He does some amazing gear, and he makes a small, quite a strong, thick aluminium table. It's 100 grams, so still quite light. It doesn't fold up in your pot, but it's still quite small in your pack. So I've ordered one of those, and I think that will be a good compromise between heavyweight table and stable to lightweight packable. So yeah, we'll give that a go. Anyway, let's get a brew on. I'm using these eyedropper bottles for fluid for eye drops. But it's got bioethanol in there. I should write it on really. I just did it before I come out. So I'm just going to use 30 millilitres and see how that goes in the cat ball stove. I like these because you can just squirt them in. I'll do 25. It's quite a lot. Can always add a bit more if I need to boil it a bit longer. These fit nicely in the little measuring jugs, which is quite cool. If you've got any alcohol on your hands when you're doing this, just be a bit careful because you don't want it catching your hands alight. Yeah, that's lit now. That's lit. You can't see it at all. It's totally... Oh, I just see the blue flame. It's really difficult to see. Really tricky. Can't believe it's lit sometimes. Yeah, it's lit. Okay, water. I've taken about 1.5 litres with me today. Oh yeah. I only want a cup of tea at the moment, so that'll do. These are great bottles. You can get them in Sainsbury's. They're like fruit juice bottles, but they're hexagonal, so they don't roll around and things like that, which is quite handy. And they don't leak. And they got wide necks for filling up from the stream and stuff. I got a pot cosy round me mug, and that helps keep your tea or chocolate warm. So something else that's I'm going to try out is this Expedition Foods. It's very high calorie food, 800,000 calories, freeze dried spaghetti bolognese. So I'm going to try this. It's freeze dried, so it's quite light. It's only 160 grams. I haven't tried them before, but I was in a little shop in a little village, a little camping shop, and they had them in there, and they said they're really nice. So might as well give them a go. It's lightweight, high calorie, so it looks good. So I'll be trying that later on. I brought plenty of fuel, so that's not a problem. I usually go on about 60 millilitres a day, and that does me drinks and food and things. and then I add 30 millilitres spare just for extra, and then over a few days that builds up, and then you got a nice amount of spare if you want to do anything or emergency, or if you have to stay out a little bit longer or something like that. So that's what I go on. Oh, it's getting warm already. Brilliant. You can watch the kettle boil. So I'm going to go for 2 hot chocolates, not tea in the end. I might have tea later with my dinner. This aluminium foil I'm using, you import it from America, like a lot of things, and it's got a coating on it. I don't know why. It's used for aluminium flashing buildings in America. It's got some sort of coating so you can smell it a bit when it gets hot. After a few goes it burns off. Now you can sand it all down, but it's a real pain in the neck, so I haven't bothered with that. I've just used it as it is. But you can smell it a bit, the coating. Apparently it goes black and then comes off, and then it's okay. Always carry a leather glove, mainly for cooking. Put batteries in the fingers, stop them shorting out. But yeah, you do need a glove to sort this out. Stuck to the pot. That's fine. Yeah, I got a slight curve on the foil. That's interesting. To do with the heat. Yeah, we got a boil on, so that's fine. It's the only thing when I'm doing stuff like this, I tend to change my gear around a lot, like trying different things, so you end up forgetting where you put everything, because it's a different place every time. So I don't know where I put my spoon. So I got me a cup of hot chocolate. It's nice. It's brilliant for calories, energy, all that kind of stuff. If you do a pot cozy out of this reflectic stuff, always put a little like V, because it's just easier to drink out of, a little lip kind of place for your lips to go. It's a lot easier. Now I found me foon, which is a spoon and a fork, titanium Alp kit, long handle for eating out the bags. Now I thought I lost this. I thought I didn't bring it because I had some food in here, and I took that food out and carried the lightweight stuff, and I thought the spoon was with it, so luckily I had it packed somewhere else. Now that is a good lesson that I think I'm going to put some backup spoons in, because if you haven't got a spoon, it's quite hard to eat porridge or to eat hot food or stuff like that. I don't know what you do. I may have to fashion some sort of spoon out of a stick or a tree with a penknife. You could use a flattened stick, I suppose. But yeah, quite tricky if you don't have it. So I'm going to put some plastic spoons just in my bag in different areas, just so I've always got a spoon. If I for some reason don't pack that one or something, I'll keep those in my bag all the time. Not sure if you can see it on the camera, but over there's like a white haze going across the top, and that's a quite heavy rain over there. I think it'll miss me because I think it'll go this way, and over there is not too bad, so we might be alright. We've had heavy hailstones. So yeah, it's been alright at the moment, really. This is all a lot more difficult when it's heavy rain and things like that. Now there's no real torch on this There's no real porch on this tent. That's because it was designed for canoeists, and when you have a canoe and you go camping with the canoe, you upturn the canoe on the beach or wherever you're camping, and you use the upturned canoe to store everything in. So you don't really need a porch for storage. So that's why this tent was designed like that, which makes it a bit difficult for cooking. I have got it with me, but I haven't pitched it today, like a little tarp that goes out the front of the tent. I just don't need it at the moment, and if there's high winds tonight I don't want that up. I just want the tent itself. But you can do this, look. So you can do this. You take the inner and you unhook it in two places, bottom and the middle, and then you move that back, and then you've got a little area here. Imagine the door closed. You can also pull this back if you want. You've just got grass, and you can cook there with the door slightly open. So it's kind of a fake porch, if you like. But I really like the tent. It is lighter than like the Sulu, Hilleberg Sulu, which is good because that's a bit heavy. And yeah, it's just stable. It's very easy to put up, very simple, very quick to put up. Just enjoying the views. This worked fine. Cat ball stove worked fine. Surprised this kind of went in a bit of a funny shape, but it doesn't matter really. I think what's happening is this annealing. See, that's the colour. It goes. That's the coating on it. You could take all that off, but I don't know. It's all right. It's not too bad. I think I'll stick with that. But yeah, I think that's annealing, where you got stresses in the metal, and then it anneals. So yeah, not a big review today, just of kit, just going out and enjoying being out and about really. Sometimes when you go out camping and you've got a YouTube channel, you're thinking about reviewing kit and what to say and all that, and it takes it away from the actual camping itself. So sometimes it's just better to go out and camp. Right, speak to you later. I said I wasn't going to do any reviews, but I will do some notable mentions. This jacket, got it for Christmas actually, but it's a Regatta .214 jacket. I think it's called Pen. I think it's after like the Pennine Way or something. And it is fantastic. It's not the biggest. Regatta are not the biggest names by any means, but they used to do like good value, not the highest tech fabrics and things like that, design, but it was really cheap. And now they've gone up a bit in price, but now they started using the top spec fabrics. So this one has stretchy panels in it which are waterproof. It has ripstop nylon in it. It's 15,000 hydrostatic head, which is very waterproof. What I like about it is the hood. See the hood? You might not be able to hear me now. When you do the hood up, it goes up against the back of your neck. It keeps the wind out. Which you can hear me. Which is really good. I thought it was going to annoy me, but it doesn't. It actually keeps the wind out really well. And then even if you've got a hat on, put the hood up and it turns and it turns with your head, so it's very close fitting. I really like that. So far
This jacket is pretty amazing. It's really lightweight, packs down really small. It's only a shell, there's no insulation in there or anything like that. But yeah, it's a really good jacket. It's got 2 breast pockets, which I use a lot, quite deep. Normal hand pockets, and there's an inside pocket as well for security and wallets and stuff like that. So yeah, really good. So look out for it. Regatta 0.214 gear. I think it's the pen jacket. They do other things as well, 0.214. It's like their pro range. They do like a down jacket and all that kind of stuff. This is the pillow that I made. So you just unzip it and stuff it full of clothes. So probably the down jacket I'm wearing at the moment and jumper and stuff. It's cotton voile, so it's nice to sleep on. And it just rolls up to nothing. So it's a really lightweight pillow, really comfy. So I'm hoping this solves my pillow problem that I had last time. It's got a little V thing for the neck, keep it in place. So we'll have a go at that tonight, we'll have a look at that tonight. The Arc Hall backpack hidden away under there. It's done a brilliant job today. It really was a pleasure walking with it. All the weight's transferred to your hips. It's the only pack I know, well the only pack I've tried that's actually done it properly. So yeah, Arc Hall is pretty good. I put some bag liners inside it and I made a cover for it. I don't know which I like best really. I like bag liners best, but I don't like the whole thing getting wet really. So we'll see how that goes. It's about 5:45 now and the sun's still out, it's still warm, it's just incredible. I've got the cat stove on, cat boil. I put in there 30 millilitres and I'm cooking up 500 millilitres of water, so quite a lot, because I'm going to do tea. So for tea we're going to use this Expedition Foods. You can see all the stuff on there, very high in calories, made in the UK. This is spaghetti bolognese, and you just pour it in up to the line. Now it doesn't say how much liquid you need, so I've done 500 ml because on the line there's numbers going up in different lines and the top line is 5, so I'm guessing that's 500 millilitres, but I don't know. So we'll try it and see. Now 1% of the sales goes to small communities in remote locations, so that's nice. The earth does not belong to us, we belong to the earth. Take only memories, leave nothing but footprints. Oh, that's really good. So yeah, it's quite nice. They've gone to a lot of trouble to get everything right. It's freeze dried, so it's very light. I'll let you have a look inside. Oh, it smells amazing. It's got a oxygen absorber in. Got to take that out. Wow, that's good. Let's see. Let's have a look. Get in the light. You see in there? So the spaghetti is all chopped up, which is easier to eat, and you got the lines in there at 5. I think that's 500 ml. So you just pour it in, stir it up, and Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt, and you're done. So I can't wait. It does smell amazing. It does smell like spaghetti bolognese, which is always a good sign. It smells like what it says on the tin. Now I've got a pot cosy. Where's it gone? But it's no good. So I made this out of Reflectix. The difference on this is, for some, it's got a flat bottom. See? Flat bottom, so you can stand it up and don't fall over, which is quite good. But this was made precisely for the size of the Look What We Found meals. Another good meal, but it's a wet food, not a dry food. So it's too small for these Expedition Foods, so I'll have to make another one now to fit the Expedition Foods. It seems like these are the biggest size bags. If I make it to fit this, it'll fit all of them then. So another little lesson learnt. I've only just put it on
It's only been a few minutes and already got some steam. So maybe 30 millilitres is too much actually. Maybe I need 25 for 500 ml. Sounds better, doesn't it? These stoves are so efficient. It's based on the Fancy Feast stove. Now I made loads of them, loads and loads in January, and they all went in about a week, something like that. And I didn't want to make any more because there's a lot of work making them. I just didn't feel like it, so I've done something else now. But I might make some more again. I'll let you know on YouTube if I make any more. Don't ask for any at the moment because I'm just not making them. But yeah, I'll let you know if I make any more. But they are brilliant stoves. Look up Fancy Feast on YouTube, DIY alcohol stove, and there's loads of tutorials on there, how to make them yourself. So it's always good. Okay, so the water's boiled. So I'm just going to pour it in. Give it a bit of a stir. Make sure the bits at the bottom are all in. Wow, looks incredible. I don't want to add too much water because sometimes these things get really runny, and I don't want to do that. I like it quite thick, so I think I can add a bit more water. So it's definitely not 500 ml. Definitely not. I reckon it's half that. I think 250 millilitres. Oh. And you seal it back up and you leave it for a few minutes. So hot water, what am I going to do with that? Make a cup of tea, of course. Oh no, let's have a coffee. Yeah, let's have a coffee. So I found it, I had a little pouch and I put everything in there, everything, tea, sugar, all that kind of stuff. Coffee's in here as well. I should have looked there first. So what I've done the shug method. I don't know who Shug is, look him up on the YouTubes. Looks a bit dodgy, looks like drugs, but it's not, it's coffee. So you take your coffee, whichever you prefer, and you put it in a bag, in the corner of a bag, and then tie a knot. So I've got coffee in there, I've got sugar, everything I want. I don't like milk, the coffee. And then you just break the corner off and pour it all in. And just tip the whole bag in. So it's a really light way of carrying it. Very little waste. Oh, I need to get a little waste bag. That'll do. The oxygen bag. So just put hot water in now. This is Nescafe Alzira Americano barista coffee, and it is amazing. You get like a crema on the top. I really like this instant coffee. It's a micro grind, so you don't get any grits or anything. Get a crema on the top, and it's really good tasting coffee. It's really, really nice. So, right, I'm gonna leave the lid on that. That'll stay warm in that little pot. So that's good. So that's 500 ml. Made a cup of coffee and all of the food. So I think it's 250 and 250. I'm just gonna have a look at this now. Oh, looking at food isn't all that nice, but it tastes amazing. So there you go. The smell is just... I'm looking forward to this. I think they're about £6 these meals, so they're not cheap. Yeah, that's good. But there's a lot of calories in there. That is incredible. I think I found a new favourite food for camping. I got some eating to do. Catch you later. I can tell you that meal was amazing. It's the best camp food I've ever had, I think. I don't get out that much because I've got a busy family life, so I don't have to buy many, and they last for ages. They last till 21st of January 2021. So about 5 years, 6 years in the packet. That's pretty good. So you can just buy some and then just store them. Perfect. So now I've eaten, time's getting on a bit, but that'll fuel me through the night now and keep me warm all through the night. So my metabolism will be burning that away and converting it into heat, which will keep me warm all night. So I won't have any problems tonight. That really is great food. What I'm going to do is the little shop I bought it in, I'm going to try and stop there on the way back and take a picture of the shop so you can see. It's a really nice little hiking shop. It's got loads of cool stuff in it. There's a lot of forest down there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the family out for a walk around the forest with the dog and everything, around the reservoir maybe, and then look for some spots for hammock camping, because that looks like evergreens, and it looks like pine. It's like a pine forest maybe, fir. So that'll be perfect for hammocking. I'm going to investigate that another day. So I'm all in bed now. Got the audio going, so the audio should be quite good. This is the little light I was on about. It's not really dark yet, it's kind of dusk at the moment, but it's really bright. You can read by it, it lights up the whole tent, and it's tiny, it's very lightweight, a few tens of grams, and it's just really good. So I'm really impressed with the lantern. I do make those for people now and again, but yeah, really good. I really like that. So I'll just explain what I've done. So I've got the sun went down, took a few photos of the sunset, which was really nice, and then got ready for bed. Once the sun goes down, the temperature plummets, so it's about, I don't know, -1, something like that now, degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's getting pretty cold now. Changed my clothes. I put merino wool thermal base layer on, so that keeps me warm. Then I got me hiking crag hoppers on, leggings, walking trousers, and I've got the t-shirt over the top of my merino wool base layer, and then I've got this Jack Pike, it's like a micro fleece. It's really thin, because I don't like to wear down jackets when I'm sleeping, really. I don't like it. So at the moment I'm warm. I normally got cold feet, always, so this time done something a bit different. So I'm in my Rab 700 sleeping bag, then I got this vapor quilt on top, which is really nice. Feels really good actually. It's definitely adding a layer of insulation on top. It's definitely a lot puffier, so that's quite good. And then where my feet are, I created a vapor barrier. So I've just got these are, well, I use them as pack liners, but they're actually Britannia bin bags, and put that over the feet end, so any heat and moisture stays trapped within. You've got to be a bit careful that it don't get too hot, but that'll really, hopefully, nice to have warm feet for the night. One good thing about this tent that I really like, so the ventilation at the top, you can vent at the bottom, but at the top, so you've got this internal baffle, so that's one thing. But if you want to look out, it's got like another zip here, so you can completely come out, and then it's got a top zip for the door, so you can have a little peep out. So if you want to stargaze without actually getting outside your tent, that's absolutely brilliant for that. So I really like that. And if you want a lot of ventilation, that would be a great way to give a lot of ventilation. It's quite dark now, see the lights coming on. Stars will be out soon, so I will have a look at the stars later. Leave it open a little bit. Do it all with one hand, pretty easy, which is good. I'm going to leave it like that. So far, yeah, really pleased with this tent, really good. Yeah, this light is great. It's just a brilliant tent light. It's just bright enough to do what you want. 45 lumens. In case it wasn't, I've got this. Now then, these are the night core. This one's EC20, I think. So, yeah, EC20. So, Nightcore, my favourite flashlight company. I got the head torch and I got this one now. There is a problem though. Most of these torches now have got little stupid little clicky buttons. It's not a proper click on, click off button, so they always come on in your pack. You don't want that. So all you've got to do is turn the end a quarter of a turn, and that'll disconnect the battery, and then there's no way it can come on. So I've had this, there you go, telling me how much voltage is on the battery. It's fully charged, and then I can, but it's really bright. That's that's a low mode. 2, 3, 4. Low mode. So yeah, it is super bright. It's 1000 lumens. So yeah, if I did have any problems, this is what I can use, and I'd use this one and the head torch to get off the hill in the middle of the night in case I had to for any reason. Hopefully I won't. So yeah, really bright, and it remembers the setting that you're on, which is really good. But I am going to turn that a little bit. There you go. And it can't come on accidentally. So I'll see you a bit later, if not in the morning. Okay, cheers, bye. Morning guys. Well, it was a great night. I went down to -6, -7 last night, and I was warm all night. I fell asleep about 8:30 and I woke up at 6:30. So yeah, no problem at all. So I was warm all night, toasty warm, even my feet were warm all night. So I just wanted to go through a few things with you, especially condensation, because that's one of the main issues with tents. So I wanted to chat to you about it. So in terms of condensation, this tent's really good. So I had a little bit of venting up there, and there's not much condensation. There is a little bit, there's not a lot. Now the best way to show you is to shine a light on it, bright light. So you can see almost, there is a little bit, look. You see it? You can see sparkles. Above my head where I'm breathing you'll see it, so that's normal. But everywhere else is really dry. So a little bit, but not too bad. This is really damp conditions. I'm in a marsh, a peat bog. So yeah, that's great for a tent. So I'm happy with the tent. Sometimes you can see the water vapour in the air. Sometimes. There, look.
if you can see it. It's like a water vapour. So there's water vapour in the air all the time, and that's looking for somewhere to condensate on. So normally my bag's really wet in the morning, like really wet. With a down bag it does compress the down and make it less warm. And I was warm all night last night, so at the top here it's a little bit damp. But normally it's a lot farther down. I thought it was my breath, first of all, and it's not my breath, it's heat coming from my body, coming out of the bag, hitting the cold outer layer of the bag and then condensating on the bag. You can see a little bit there maybe. And then it gets really, really wet and damp, and then eventually it gets to the down and gets wet. So the idea was to create a vapour quilt so it carries on through the layer of the sleeping bag into the insulation of the vapour quilt, hits the outer layer of the vapour quilt and then condensates on that, and also keeps you a bit warm, and it's absolutely worked. So if you look here, you see the water. So it's come through the vapour quilt, condensated on the outside. You can see how wet it is. Really, really wet. And underneath, because it's wicking cotton voile, it stayed absolutely dry. And my bag underneath is bone dry. So that totally works. So you can use any quilt for this. You could use a wool blanket, you could use a little bit of fleece, anything that's a bit insulating, and some sort of layer on top will condensate all the water. Now, where I did my, see that? You can see the water on top. Now some of that water, interestingly, is underneath that layer. And because it's artificial insulation, it's right. Now where I had the bag over my feet, you can see, look, you can see where it's condensation, the heat from my feet has come out, is condensated underneath the bag. So that is very wet under there, which is good. Well, it's not great, but it's good because it kept my feet nice and warm. I'm just going to check now underneath the quilt. Yeah, underneath the vapour barrier is bone dry on the sleeping bag. So this idea of having a vapour quilt really works. It's not been done before, I don't think, but the science is good. And yeah, just hold it back. Yeah, so you see a little bit damp there. Oh look, that's where I've stitched through, and the stitch has whipped the moisture through. That's interesting. If I could do it without any stitching. Yeah, it's done it there. There, see? Maybe without stitching would be better. And it's totally dry there. And it's totally dry on my bag. Whereas up here, where it wasn't quite reaching, it's a little bit damp. So, yeah, brilliant. So I might try that again. A little bit longer, so it reaches right up. Goes under my chin. Do it that way. So that works really well. The pillow, it kept my down jacket in there, things like that. That worked. The down pillow worked really well. It's so comfortable all night. I did put my merino wool hat on. Some merino wool and possum down. Works really well. And that did keep me warm all night, so that's worth wearing. But that pillow, oh, so comfortable. I was warm enough in just my sort of base layers and t-shirt. I didn't need a jacket on or anything like that. I was thinking what you could do is you could get the cheapest, biggest, lightest sleeping bag, like a one season ultra thin, like from Aldi or anything that's really cheap, because it's going to have artificial insulation, and put that over your normal down sleeping bag. If you can get a very light, thin insulated one, then that would compress very small, be pretty light, but that would also act as a vapour barrier, so that's another thing to try actually, and keep your down bag dry. So yeah, really good. Science wins this round, and this thing's easy to dry out because it's nice and thin and light. I think I've solved the damp sleeping bag problem that I've been having when I've been out and about. So that bag's really dry now, so you can pack that away dry. You could use that night after night, and the only thing you have to dry out is the vapour quilt, which will dry pretty quick in the wind. So yeah, it's fine. Oh, I'm so tired. So yeah, really great night. I was too tired, I didn't get up for the stars. I'm sure they were lovely, but I preferred to have my sleep. So I put some of the batteries in my sleeping bag for my gear. The cold does zap power quite a lot, so makes it harder for the battery to retain power and things. So I kept those in the sleeping bag, so they're all fine. The wind got up a bit last night. It got up to maybe 30 miles an hour. Not really heavy wind, but quite a lot of wind. And the temp was fine. I didn't even notice it. Stood rock fast, no movement at all. So overall, really good. You can have a little look out a minute just to see. Just hold this back. The little elastic with the toggles around the end worked well. Didn't move at all. I can't believe how warm my feet were. That's the warmest I've been in a sleeping bag up to now. So let's have a look here. Where's my torch? It's easier to see condensation with a torch. So condensation on the outer tent, yeah, loads. Got some ice too. Yeah, it's ice on the inside. So yeah, it's frozen. So that's pretty cold. Oh, look at that ice. That is really cold. My boots are going to be frozen solid. The ground sheet there on like a peat bog ground, so it's 100% saturated, totally dry there, and looks like it's dry on the footprint as well. So yeah, really pleased with that. Thinking about getting up now. Oh wow, check this out guys. Oh, look at that. That is incredible. We've got a sunrise over here. You can see more than I can now. Beautiful sunrise. Mist over the mountains. Oh, wow. Ground's frozen solid. Tent frozen solid. Very still, very clear. That is amazing. Right, I'm going to get up now, sort some stuff out, take some pictures and start packing away, I think. And enjoy the view a little bit first. Cheers. It is very, very cold. I had to put my gloves on because my fingers were hurting. It's so cold. I've never camped in this sort of temperature before, but everything worked out well. This is how cold it is. It is very cold. But Hilleberg tents, yeah, they know what they're doing. These are brilliant tents. Everything stayed tight, guy lines stayed tight. It's just lovely. And look, this is why we go camping. If you can brave the cold and the weather. Look at that.
might be able to see, probably too small on this kind of lens, but there's a penny fan up there. I'll put a picture up, it might be easier. Oh, it's a beautiful morning, clear, bright. The water that was flowing yesterday is pretty much all frozen. That's how cold it is. Wow. Let's have a look at the stream. I think the stream's still running. The mud's all frozen, which is good. I like the frozen mud. You don't get so messy. Oh yeah, the stream's still running. So not mega cold, but it's reduced to a trickle. Let's go and have a look at the standing water. Oh, gloves are really good. I like these gloves. These are gloves from Aldi. It's neoprene with grippy palms and a thermal liner, and they are great. They're really warm. Snow's very crunchy. Oh yeah, look, most of that's frozen. It's a bit of wind, so hopefully the audio's picking up okay. Got the Zoom H2n with a little lav mic and a little windshield over the lav mic, so hopefully it's okay. No, I don't want to fall in today. Wow. Yeah, just a thin layer of ice on the top. Wow, look at this. Incredible. How is it? It's lifted and frozen, or the top's frozen, then the bottom's drained away. So you got like a funny floating layer. That's weird. Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, very pleased with the tent. It's interesting. These lines are the lines of the ripstop grid. How weird is that? Huh. Oh, Rose's nose is starting to run now. My brain's not working properly. This is when you got to be real careful, because when it's really cold and your brain's a bit slow, that's when you start to make mistakes, like falling over and stuff, slipping and not thinking about what you're doing. So you've got to be real careful when this is cold. Don't know if you can see that. There's some clouds floating across, probably at my height and my altitude now. We don't have the conditions for a cloud inversion, otherwise all this would be cloud. But my god, look at that. Wow. Just look at that. Frost on the tent has burnt off, melted. So the sun's quite strong. Oh, there's a little bit left. But I've got a pack towel. I don't know if you know what that is. It's the actual name of a company, Pack Towel. I'll show you. So this is pack towel. No, it's got a funny spelling. It's pack towel. Okay, got a little popper to hang it up. This is it's really weird stuff. It's an ultra absorbent special fabric. It's not just any old absorbent towel, but it holds 10 times its own weight, so it's pretty big. You could dry yourself off with that if you need to, but I use it for drying the inner and outer of my tent before I pack it away. So if you look, see all this? Yeah, perfectly dry. So you can do your whole tent like that, and it's nice and dry when you pack it away, and then you just squeeze it out. I put it in the mesh or hang it off your bag and it dries real fast. So pack towel, the original, is very, very good. I've used a lot of others, they're just not as good. They don't absorb as much water, so go for the original if you want. It's not the cheapest of towels, but it's definitely one of the best, I think. I've dried the tent off with the pack towel, so the tent's completely dry on the outside, it's wet on the inside now. So just hang the towel off of one of these loops, and that's drying real fast. So that'll dry quick. And the vapor quilt, just attached with the cord and toggles to the loops on the top of the tent, which is really handy. So you can just let it dry out. I did it black on the inside for this reason. Now it'll absorb all the heat and dry out super fast. It's pretty. I pack toweled the outside, so that's pretty dry. It's just where I stitched that the stitch has wicked the moisture through. So I'm definitely going to make one without any stitching holding it in place, just on the edges, I think, because that'll be a lot better. So I might even use some Climber Shield, which is a very special, lightweight, artificial insulation for camping. So I might try that. So yeah, just let that dry out. Black is ideal for that. It'll dry out the fastest. So I'm all packed up, ready to go. It's the normal leave no trace kind of camping. Don't leave any marks at all where you've been. Cannot tell that we've been here now. So everything's packed up. I'm gonna put I got some water left, about 200 mils. I'm gonna put that into my strap bottle, and then I can drink that on the way down. It's too hot to wear my jacket, so I'm just going to wear my filament. But it's been a lovely camp, beautiful weather. Bit of a cloud inversion down there. Beautiful weather. I've not seen a single person. Right, I'll do some filming on the way down and check you later. So the pack's a little bit lighter now, of course, without the food, without water, or just a little bit for drinking on the way down, but without a lot of water with me. In terms of the pack, I'm really pleased with it. It's really comfortable to wear. Mainly the shoulder pressure, there is none, and that's what makes it different to a lot of other packs, I think, because a lot of the weight's on the shoulders and this one's all on the hips. So could easily carry a lot more weight, could easily go up to 25-30 kilograms, but for me this is probably now 12 and a half on the way back, maybe 12, which is fine. Could walk all day like this, no problem. So just show you the path. It's quite muddy now the sun's up, melted a lot of the ice, but it's quite easy walking really. It's not difficult. It is going to be hard on the way on the descent because there's a lot of rocks, a little bit slippery, so I'll show you that a bit later. Oh, there's a little stone cairn there. Certainly good views. Maybe someone or something has died and they put it there to look out over the views. See if there's any message.
It's a beautiful spot. It does look a bit like a burial. Maybe for an animal, perhaps. Yeah, probably. But yeah, what better view to have every day. Wow. Now there's a fell runner up here. They're a strange breed. They're people that run up and down the fells all day long. Don't know how they do it. They're superhuman, I think. I'll try and catch him on the video when he comes up. Or her. Morning. Oh, that is proper fit. I noticed they have ultralight trail running shoes, which are not waterproof at all, so your feet get soaked. But the idea is, as you're running, your feet get hot, and eventually they dry out the shoe. A bit difficult in this weather. In the summer, yeah, it would work great. In this weather, not so much. But if you're trail running, you need something like that. Here's another trail runner. And a tiny little dog. He's trying to catch up. Morning. Wow, super fit. I think that takes a lot of experience running on this sort of terrain. Could easily turn an ankle. So yeah, it's not for everyone. So I must admit they've done these steps pretty well with the stone vertical, so it gives you good grip on your tread, on your boots to catch it. Some people lay these stones flat. When they get wet, it's more dangerous than having no stone at all. So they've done a good job here with drainage tracks. See, look, all the vertical stones. This is perfect for grip. If you've got a good pair of boots on. Thanks for coming along for the journey. It's been a fantastic trip. Hopefully many more to come. Love this place. I'll be back again, maybe in the forest. Thanks, bye.